Hi there, Nigel Saunders of Linden Bonsai. Today we're going to be working on our small leaf lime tree or linden tree. When we last left this tree it was midsummer and we had defoliated this side of the tree and we did a bit of corrective work in some of the other places. So it's time. It's getting closer to spring now. It's February. And it's time to do any corrective work to it before all the buds come out in spring. So as always, we're always looking at the design of the tree and checking out, future possibilities. And one thing I noticed on this tree by studying it is I'm starting to like this view of it here. I'm liking, the bark texture. This branch could be a good possible leader for the tree. It takes away from our deadwood sections on the tree. But it's possible, we may use this later on. As the tree develops, our front may change again. But for now, I'm starting to like this view here. I think we have a good root base. We've got enough interesting stuff happening on the trunk. We have a good leader up here. So I'm thinking of changing the front to somewhere in this view. The first thing we want to decide on is what to do with this developing branch here. It started out last year as a branch about this size, and we let it grow all summer, and it thickened up quite a bit, really nicely actually. And it's at the point now we have to decide what to do with it. It was possible to grow this as a main trunk and keep this as a branch, but I'm thinking that's not a good option. I like this as the trunk line. So I think this has got to be a branch. And I have to decide, do we want it an upright branch, more horizontal? So that's some of the decisions we have to make. We've got to do a little corrective work on this branch also and decide what to do with this branch. And we'll be doing some work on the apex and some of the branch structure up top there also. I think our leader, or our branch leader coming up here, it doesn't look good straight. I think if we blocked it out and made it more of a horizontal branch, it would look quite good. So I think the first thing we're going to do is cut off that long vertical branch that's sticking straight up. So let's do that. Let's get out our pruners. And cut that off. Now let's see what it's looking like. It looks more like a branch now. The next thing we want to do is shorten these long whips, get it back to a compact branch structure. So we've got some downward facing buds here, one here and one here. So I'm going to take the branch back to, here's our bud that's facing downward. So I'm going to take it back to here and prune it off, leaving room for dieback, so this branch will start to dry out and it won't affect the buds here. These buds will still develop. And we want to do the same on this branch. I'm looking for some downward facing buds. There is maybe one here. Not too much else, so I think we're going to take it back to here. Like so. And then let's have a look at it. Yeah, that looks better. It looks more like a horizontal branch. One thing we want to do is we want to mark the front of the tree, which I should have done. So I'm looking at it now. I'm liking right. Well, make this a little taller. I'm liking right here. That's the front of the tree. There's a little whip in here. I want to get rid of that at the base of this. We always want one branch dividing into 2 and then dividing into 4 and 8 and so on. We do have on this branch, we left a safety on. We left this branch to grow, and I left another leader here just in case we got one die back. But they're both growing nicely. So I don't think we need this one in here. We'll get rid of that, like so. Now this branch here, it's kind of crossing. If we use this as the front view, it's kind of crossing in front of the trunk and it's coming out towards you. I'm thinking it would look better without it. I'm just, yeah, definitely. There's enough going on here without worrying about that branch, so we're going to get rid of that. Now it does have a bulge here, but we'll see what happens. It'll probably sprout suckers out of there. We'll see what happens. If we have to carve that bulge out in future, we will. We'll carve a teardrop shaped cut out of the trunk, and it'll heal over quite quickly being on the trunk here. So looking up here, I don't like this hanging branch. I'm going to get rid of that. We left it on last time, but I don't like it. And if we go to the top view, which we'll do now. So we're up in our top view now, and you can see our trunk line comes up, and we have one branch coming off here, and then another branch coming off here. And opposite that, we have another branch, which creates this, you know, we have 3 branches coming out of one spot. So I think we're going to have to get rid of this one. We do have this branch over here, which we can fill in this area. So that one's going to come off. There we go. We'll clean that up a little later. So we got one branch, another branch. This one's dividing into 2, 2 again, maybe 3 here. We'll have to fix that. So let's go back to our front view. Okay, we're back to our exact front view. I want to keep, this is our main trunk line, which I want to keep, you know, fairly upright. So I don't want this branch growing out the bottom here. We're going to get rid of that. Want it to look as vertical as possible. This branch trunk line divides into 2 here, and I don't want this one because it's our 3rd branch in that area. We don't want it, so we're going to clean that out. I'm just going to clean up some of these old pruning points. I think this one is dead. Get rid of it anyway. That looks good. And then we're coming from one branch here. We want to divide this into 2. So we're going to prune off this dead part here and get rid of this one. So now we're dividing into two. This one, we'll get rid of this one. We're dividing into two. We have a third branch here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think we want that one. We'll get rid of that. Like so. That's good. And while I think of it, I'm just going to clean up that pruning point. We pruned off this branch here, but left kind of a bit of a stub. Like so. I hear some squirrels outside. Okay, so that's cleaned up quite nicely. Now, I'm just going to clean up some more old pruning scars while we're doing a bit of carving. That's good. And this one on top here, I think I'm just going to let it grow. It may be a possible, future trunk up there. It's very vertical, so we're going to leave that grow. I'm going to shorten this back a bit. Yeah, I'm going to prune this off here. Oops, there. There we go. Now, I want to keep cleaning up the structure. This branch we're going from one, dividing into two. I have some suckers down below that I don't think I want because I don't want to clutter the design up with all these branches coming out places we don't want them. And here we're dividing one into two. I'm going to leave that for now and see what develops there. And get rid of some of these old dead parts here. And the same here, we're dividing into two. I want to see what develops in that area, and then I may shorten it later on. So that's looking pretty good. So even if this remains our front view someday, we still have everything going on, looks good. I mean, this is more horizontal. This can grow vertically as another branch off this side. We'll have our branch here, so it'll look pretty good, I think. But I think we are going to change the view. This is the front. Yeah. I'm wondering about that bulge there. If I should carve it away now or... I think I will. If I leave it now, if I leave that bulge there, it's just going to get worse as the summer goes on. If I clean it up now, it'll start healing over. So we just want to carve away the bulge. You can see it was quite large. Stuck out a fair amount. And these scars on the trunk will heal quite quickly. As the top of the tree grows, it'll increase the girth of the trunk and the scars will just heal right over. The wood from a linden tree is often used in wood carving. It's a nice wood for carving. So that's flush now, but we still want to make it slightly hollow so it heals over flush with the trunk. Now, we'll see how that does. That should be pretty good. So we'll go back to our front view. How does it look? It looks quite tree-like. It's not a bad view there either. Kind of all going away from you, but something nice about that view. Side-on's a little, that view's a little boring, everything's flat. It's all kind of in one plane except for that large back branch. It's okay, but I don't know. No, I don't like that view at all. And back to our kind of chosen front. That's all the work we'll be doing on our small leaf linden tree for today. We've kind of picked a new front. We've cleaned up the branch structure and, you know, kind of got a future styling goal for the tree. So Nigel Saunders of KW Bonsai, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.